This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio. We broadcast live Monday through Friday every weekday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. And if you want to join the conversation, we always welcome your phone calls. You can call us in the studio at 347-857-3958. Again, that number is 347-857-3958. Irv.
Yes, sir.
How was your day today, sir?
It was a great day today, man. You know what? It was Magnificent Monday.
Magnificent Monday.
That's right, man. It's always a great time to be in your own business. That's what I say. Because I didn't have to ask anybody for permission to go out and do some business this morning.
Doesn't that feel good?
It does feel good. It absolutely does, because it beats the alternative.
And the alternative would be?
Do nothing.
Yeah, it definitely beats the alternative. I had a pretty good day myself. I'd like to keep my calendar as clear as I possibly can on Mondays so that I can really get things done.
Really?
But today wasn't one of those days, so I had to leave the house this morning for my first appointment, which was at 6 a.m.
6 a.m. appointment.
And I thought that I was looking rather dapper when I left the house.
You still look dapper, man.
Well, if you look closely, I'm wearing black shoes, black slacks, a gray jacket, and a navy blue tie. This is what happens when you dress in the closet so as not to wake up your wife.
I am just stunned at the amount of transparency and candor we have on this show.
Hey, if I'm doing very well, I'm going to let you know, and if I'm not doing so hot, I'm still going to let you know.
You know what? John, though, I really believe that's why people tune into our show every day.
I think so.
I really believe that. All over the country, people tune in, and all you folks out there who tune into our show here at Cruz and Hughes, we really appreciate what you do and why you do it, and we always do the very best we can to provide you with the very best information on how to grow and expand your small business. And I mean, that's why we do what we do, John.
That is exactly why we're here. And speaking of which, we have a great guest in the studio with us today. We have Mr. Dirk Cummins with us. He's the president of the Main Street Chamber of Commerce, the Houston chapter. Now, Dirk, as I mentioned, is the president of the chamber, and Dirk attended the University of Virginia and was a practicing chartered financial consultant, a certified financial planner, and a certified divorce financial analyst. I have to ask you a couple questions about that. But Dirk, we want to say welcome to Cruz and Hughes.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here today, and I like the story about the tie. It brings back when I was speaking at an event at a 7 o'clock breakfast meeting.
Okay.
And I get up and I go to move behind the podium to speak. And I had on a gray pinstriped jacket and navy blue pinstriped trousers. Closet time again.
That's right. You know what? And you would think that with all the lighting in my house that I would at least check myself before I walked out the door. But when you think you've nailed it, hey, you just think you've nailed it.
I felt good right on.
I don't know. I mean, John,
that's right. And now you're subconscious about it.
I mean, I think you look great, though. I mean, the blue tie is really dark, folks. For those of you who may not be watching on Ustream.tv, John's tie is really, really a deep, dark blue. So I think you got away with it.
And if you do want to see it, you can always log in to cruzandhughes.com. We broadcast live there every day so you can see what we do in this wacky studio. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Main Street Chamber. And the first question I want to ask you, Dirk, is how did you become involved with the chamber?
That's interesting. The reason I became involved is I was talking to a colleague of mine who is in Minnesota. And we were commiserating about how terrible it is in the financial services industry to prospect anymore. All the traditional ways, direct mail, cold calling, seminars, they were all going away since 2008. And he said, well, I don't have that problem. I said, what do you mean you don't have that problem?
Wow.
He says, yeah, I found something called the Main Street Chamber, and I became involved as an ambassador. He says, you ought to check it out. So I go looking, and there's no no Main Street Chamber in Houston at that time. And that was about, I guess, November of last year.
Okay.
So I contacted the corporate office, which is located in Las Vegas, and began talking to them. And they said, well, why don't you open one?
What? Wow.
And then I said, I guess it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is. And I did.
Really?
We had our grand opening in the last week of April this year. We had 0 members. We now have almost 300 members.
That's fantastic.
And we've opened a second chapter in Katy.
That is fantastic.
Very nice. Now, for those who are not familiar with the Main Street chapter, Main Street Chamber, our show broadcast nationwide. So does that mean that there are offices in other cities?
Yes. We have over 150 throughout the United States right now.
Wow.
And it's amazing. Some of the chapters, I was talking to a fellow president in Scranton, Pennsylvania, not a big city. They've been there a couple of years now. Over 3,000 members.
Really?
The fastest growing chamber is the Mahoning Valley Chamber. This is in Ohio. This is Youngstown, Ohio.
Wow.
The capital of the Rust Belt.
Absolutely.
Sure. Businesses have been just disappearing.
Sure.
They have over 1,000 members. They're growing businesses. New businesses are opening all the time. And they attribute it directly to their involvement in the chamber, because that is what we do, is drive business to our members and help them expand their businesses.
Now, Dirk, I have a question. Are all of the chambers in the network, are they all called Main Street Chamber, or are they called different things in different places?
No, they're all Main Street Chamber.
Okay.
And it would be like Main Street Chamber, Houston, or Katy, or Scranton. The one in Ohio is Mahoning Valley.
Sure.
And they're all over the country. And if you have trouble finding one, call me. I mean, you can always get hold of me. I'll put you in touch with one, or maybe you should open one in your own area.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now tell me, what is the major difference? Because every city, especially a city as big as Houston, I mean, what do we have here? 50 chambers, 60 chambers?
Something like that,
Something like that. So what would you say the major difference is between all the other chambers of commerce and the Main Street Chamber?
Well, the other there's 2 different philosophies, if you will, business models for them. Traditional chambers, and they're great organizations. They were designed to help the community by involving small business, usually in charitable events, things for nonprofits, and that was a way to give back to the community and help grow the community. And that's good. People should get involved in that. But when Main Street Chamber started back in 2000, their philosophy was, look, we can also help the community in a different way. If we can grow small businesses, if we can create jobs, it creates money that people spend in the community, which creates more business, which creates more jobs, which it's a wonderful philosophy to go by. So that was their model. One of the challenges with chambers is there's been a big consolidation throughout the country of Chamber of Commerce. You said we have 50, 60, 70 here in Houston. We had more than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of them have had to merge together or close because a lot of businesses could not afford to continue to pay to go to chamber events and pay to join the chamber, because they love to give to the community, they love to give back, but they weren't getting anything back at that point. We were going through some tough times in Houston, all over the country for that matter.
Right.
Okay, so we came up with the idea, or I should say the founders of Main Street did, and there's no membership fee. It's absolutely free, lifetime membership.
Really?
As you all know, there's no fee to get into any of our events. They're absolutely free.
Now, I have a question with that, because now the question, I have to back up a step, because you touched on something about the founders.
Yes.
Who started the Main Street Chamber?
There was a gentleman called his name is Larry Cozen, and he started the chamber back in 2000, and it was called the National Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
And what it was designed to do was to be a lead generation program for businesses. Well, it worked really well.
Yeah, I would say so.
And someone came in and bought it from him, and they figured, well, if you build this ballpark, everybody will just come. Not true. You have to work, as we've all found out.
Sure.
So what has happened is then Larry bought it back and had some other people involved in buying it back. And they were They were growing out in the Las Vegas and California area, and then they decided, this is working. We need to take it nationwide. Everyone should be able to participate. And then a funny thing happened. 2008.
Yes.
They were originally called the National Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
They said, we're going to go nationwide. So they got all these gurus in there to advise them on business. And they said, first thing, you got to get rid of the word national. Sounds like you're the government. No one's happy with the government. So then they put together another study group, and they came up with Main Street Chamber, which is a great name for this organization. And people ask, hey, where's your chamber at? It's Main Street, which is whatever street that your business is on. That's Main Street.
Main Street America.
That's right.
Wow. And they started this how long ago?
2000.
2000.
Yep, went nationwide in 2010 and have grown to 150 chapters. We should hit 100,000 members by the end of this year.
Wow. Our guest today is Mr. Dirk Cummins. Dirk is the president of the Main Street Chamber of Commerce, the Houston chapter. If you would like to connect with Dirk, you want to give your telephone number?
Yes, 713-609-9805. That will get to me directly.
One more time.
713-609-9805.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which is brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. To get your copy of the magazine that is for and about Houston's entrepreneurs, you can go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. Put in your information. We'll send you a free edition every single month via email. Thank you for listening so far. Stick around. We're going to ask more questions about the Main Street Chamber. We'll be back in a moment.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising
doesn't work.
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. If you are on Blog Talk Radio, we're having a little technical difficulty, but we are still recording, so you'll be able to hear this show in its entirety by going to cruzandhughes.com and going right into our archives. You'll be able to hear everything that we're talking about today. Our guest today is Mr. Dirk Cummins. Dirk is the president of the Main Street Chamber of Commerce, the Houston chapter. Dirk, you guys have a website as well, don't you?
Yes, they can go to www.mainstreetchamber.org, and they can look around there, see where all the chapters are if they happen to not be in Houston, and the name of the chapter president is there, and there's places they can blog on there. They just have a good time looking around. It tells you a lot about the chamber when you get in. Well, yeah, and you can join on there too.
Oh, can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
And if you're just coming into the conversation, we've been talking about the Main Street Chamber, and one of the things that just jumps off the page to me is the fact that there are no quarterly or annual dues for you to become a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
That's correct.
Okay.
And you know, a lot of people come up and say, "Okay, what's the hook?"
Yeah,
right. Everybody wants to know.
I was about to ask that.
When are you going to get in my pocket?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Well, it's interesting. When they designed the Main Street Chamber, they said, you know, we do have to have some revenues coming in.
Sure.
I mean, it has to go that way.
Sure.
So they have got sponsors, national sponsors, as well as local sponsors. People who want, first of all, to do business with small business. They become sponsors because they want their name out there, and they're willing to give pretty substantial discounts to members of the Main Street Chamber. So that's how we're supported.
Sure.
And most of the chambers also adopt a couple of charities and have raffles and that at our events so that we're able to give money to certain charities. We have not chosen our charity yet here in Houston.
Okay.
Houston has a lot of charities.
To say the least.
Yes, and we're looking at them. We have a committee together that's looking at it. We want to get, like most people, the biggest bang for our buck. We want the money to help someone.
Absolutely.
Right.
So we're looking at some local charities here, but we have a national charity also, and it's Prevent Child Abuse America. So, you know, we're able to get sponsors through them as well that come on board and say, you know, you guys have a good idea. We want to help small business, and we want to do business with small businesses.
Now, when you think about the chamber and the fact that it does not charge any type of fees,
Correct.
You're surviving on sponsorship. Tell me, who are some of the sponsors?
Well, on a nationwide basis, Home Depot. I'm sorry, Office Depot is one. We're working on Home Depot.
Okay.
For one, Benchmark Email.
Oh wow.
Which is interesting because all of our chapter members get the program for free. They can send up 1,000 emails and they get discounts on if they need to go over that. So that works real well. We have some local sponsors here. Interesting enough, Stephen K. Media is one of them.
Good guy to know.
Yes, he is. He has helped out a lot. and he's smiling right now as well. But, Grant Sadler at GMS Dental Group.
Absolutely.
With 6 locations. They're a sponsor. Small Business Today magazine is one of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
So those are people who want to see an organization who actually is helping business do business.
Now, Dirk, I have a question, because chambers, and correct me because you would certainly know and I don't, chambers are generally nonprofits, or are they generally for-profits?
No, most chambers are nonprofits.
Okay.
Our chamber is for-profit.
Okay.
It's a small business as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we figure that, if we're going to walk that walk or talk that talk, we need to walk the walk.
Right.
And we do.
You see, that makes sense to me. John, to me, that makes sense.
It does.
It makes sense. And this is not to try to cast a dispersion on nonprofit chambers, but to me, unless you're in an organization that does and understands exactly what you're doing as a for-profit,
right?
While they're very, very similar, there's not a whole lot of difference between a nonprofit and a for-profit. I mean, you both got to generate some revenue.
That's right. It's still a business.
It's still a business, but to me, that's an attraction. That's a nice attraction to be a part of a chamber that's a for-profit, just like its members. That's my point.
And that point does not fall on deaf ears. We talk about that. As you know, we put on events. We have a big event coming up the 27th of this month, which will be a citywide event. It's not limited to just the chapter members. And, as we look at the profit structure, we have to be able to show a profit to stay in business, to help other people show a profit.
Sure.
And we use our sponsors to do that. And then we help our sponsors as well as our members. Sometimes they're a fit. Sometimes they're not a fit.
Yeah,
of course.
But boy, I'm going to tell you what, when you see some of the discounts, when you see some of the services, and Main Street was founded under one premise: give first, expect nothing in return. And our sponsors are like that as well, and they get a lot in return. And we teach our members that philosophy. I mean, I sit down with businesses and say, okay, it's about relationships.
Right.
So you have to give first. You've got to get to know that person. Find out what makes them tick. Find out what their passion is. I mean, you guys found out one of my passions today that I enjoy doing. But nobody asks. Nobody cares, it seems like. It's like, here's my card. Let me get your card. Right. See you later. And we do not espouse that at all. We have went up to people who have come to our events as guests. They want to become members. They come in and they have that philosophy. And I walk up to them. Someone will let me know. Believe me, one of our members will. And I'll take them aside and say, look, we can help you. Let me sit down and visit with you and show you how this is done, because it is about relationships, long-lasting relationships.
As you talk about giving first, and I think that as an entrepreneur, one of the lessons that it's a hard lesson that I had to learn, being in business and being at a point in your business where you cannot see the light of day.
Right.
And one of the things that my mentor instilled in me is that when you can't figure out what's going on, when you don't know the answers, go out there and donate your time and help somebody else.
That's right.
Through your giving, I can't tell you how many times I've found the answer to my own needs in my business by assisting someone else, making a relationship possible or a meeting possible for somebody else, donating my time, speaking for free at certain venues. And I do believe that the goodwill is reciprocated. When people see that you care enough to do something for them, it doesn't go unrewarded.
That's true. And in Texas, we always say, what goes around comes around.
Certainly.
That's right.
And it's the truth. Too often times we have a negative connotation to that statement, but it really is true. What goes around comes around. And if you give first, I mean, another old saying was when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
That's right.
And as long as we're out there being ready, they will appear.
Absolutely. Now I got to know, how are you viewed by some of the other chambers?
I was going to ask that question because I think they would. I mean, you're doing something that they are not necessarily structured fee-wise, financially to do.
Because they survive on membership dues.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would think if I'm a chamber director, I'm an executive director. To me, and maybe I'm just out of school on this, man, but I'd be scared to death of you guys.
Yeah.
Well, we've invited and will continue to invite other chambers to participate in activities with us. Sometimes they choose not to. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're at our events, and we welcome them with open arms.
Okay.
There's no reason to be territorial. We do two different things. They help the community by putting on events geared toward nonprofits. Our events are geared toward small business profits. It's two different things. We should not be in competition. We should actually be working together. And we have that invitation out to them.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, I would think that, there could be a little bad blood.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. But, that does make sense. Their purpose is generally a little different than yours.
Correct.
That's awesome. I tell you what, Dirk, I'm thrilled that you're here because I know that there are a lot of people in small business, even across the country, not only in Houston, even though Houston's a big entrepreneur town, looking for opportunities to network, looking for the benefits that a chamber can bring in that association. And boy, I tell you what, the fees right now for a lot of businesses that are recovering and trying to come back, that's a deterrent for some of them right now.
Yes, it is. And, it's, again, in small business, and all of us at this table are entrepreneurs.
Sure.
We have to justify every dollar that we spend.
Right.
That's right.
How is it going to come back to us? Is this a good investment, whether it's short-term or long-term? And they look at that. And I know one of our value propositions is that we have free lifetime membership, but that's not the biggest value.
Well, when we come back, I want to touch on that. Let's pick up right there when we come back. Is that all right?
Excellent.
All right, super. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. Stay with us. More with Dirk Cummings right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan.
The storm coming.
The legend ends in IMAX.
What are you? I'm Captain Certainty.
The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest is Mr. Dirk Cummins. Dirk is the president of the Main Street Chamber of Commerce. The Main Street Chamber is a free membership chamber that is in business to help promote your for-profit small business. If you want to learn more about the Main Street Chamber and to see if there's one in your area, you can go to their website, which is www.mainstreetchamber.org. Or if you're in Houston, you could give Dirk a call if you want to ask some questions, possibly start a chamber in your area. And Dirk, your number again is
713-609-9805.
All right. Now, we went to break, Irv.
Yeah.
You were setting it up perfectly.
Well, you know, Dirk was talking about a lot of things right there in that segment, folks, and I really wanted, Dirk, for you to kind of bring us back and expand more on what you were talking about and some of the benefits and some of the philosophies, I guess, in talking about building those relationships and how the Main Street Chamber's philosophy really focuses on that and really promotes that.
Yes, it does promote it. It focuses on it. Its theme is give first, expect nothing in return. And that is the premise of building relationships. Because as we meet people and we get involved with them, wonderful things begin to happen. Mm-hmm. They start to let you into your inner circle once they trust you. Mm-hmm. And the only way that they're going to trust you is if you become involved in their life. And when I say give, it doesn't mean give them money.
Right.
It means give of yourself to the relationship.
Right.
Whether it's a marriage, whether it's your children, whether it's the guy who lives next door to you, the only way you develop relationships is by giving first.
That's true.
So you give, find out what their passion is. And it's interesting. My passion, as you guys know, is ballroom dancing, and I was at a networking event, and I asked another person at that event what their passion was, and they said it was ballroom dancing.
Really?
Now, do you think we might have a relationship building
connection there?
Yeah. But it works just like that. Or maybe it's football, because I've got a 7-year-old grandson that's first year playing tackle football.
Boy.
And he's a running back, right?
Oh, man, that's
well,
fun.
You know, there's a million of us grandparents out there.
That's right. That's right.
So it's about getting involved with them. And they say, hey, so-and-so was asking, let's say you're in the insurance business and you're selling auto insurance. They're going to come up and say, somebody says, you know, their neighbor goes, my insurance is just going through the roof. Well, you know, I got a friend, John, who is in the business.
Yeah.
Here, give him a call.
Yeah.
Now, Dirk, I got to ask a question because you bring up a good point about that in talking about these relationships. And here's the thing. What happens if you have 10 people or 50 people in your chamber that sell auto insurance? Is that an issue? Is that a problem? How is that handled? I mean, do you guys limit how many people are in one particular area, or do you just not worry about that? Does it work anyway, or how's that go?
It seems to be working well, and I think if I was in a town of 10,000 people or 30,000 people, it may not work real well.
Got you.
But Houston is so large.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's just phenomenal. And here's the reality: we can put people together.
Okay.
Affect the introductions, which is, when you come to one of our events, we bring you in the door. We don't say hi, thanks for coming, and let you walk in and stand in the corner, because everyone is nervous.
Right.
It's their first event.
I do notice that,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell you, I've had this conversation with Stephen K. Even, that I am a little shy sometimes when I come to an event, and I will sort of just stand back and sort of sit on the sidelines and kind of watch. But I know that when I come to your events, somebody always hustles me right to the middle of the room and starts introducing me to people. And really, that's the reason that we network, is so that we can meet people and we can be introduced to someone who could potentially help me, or somebody that I could potentially help. So I love that about your event. You're not allowed to just sit back and scope from the sidelines, as it were.
But what's cool about that too, John, is what you're saying too, is that now you mentioned that you know that's going to happen. So now the chamber has set that expectation now. And so now when you go there, after your first time, now you're not expecting to go and stand on the sidelines.
Well, but now when I go, I know more people.
Right.
So it sort of takes that little shyness away. As soon as you walk in, you speak to 3 or 4 people that you know, and next thing you know, you're meeting new people.
Yeah, how cool is that?
It's a great opportunity to network.
Yeah, they're quarterbacking.
That's right. That's right.
Right. We don't like clicks.
Yeah.
And we're going to break them up. People need to meet each other. We make the introductions. I can't guarantee you're going to get business, because I don't know your story.
Right.
And by the way, I have my own story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have your story to tell.
Right.
But if you tell it in the right way, and it's compelling, and you're excited about it, and it happens to be something someone needs, and they happen to like you,
sure,
you're going to do business.
Now, speaking of stories, the Main Street Chamber is just one thing that you're involved in. Now, what do you do full time?
That's what I'm doing full time now.
You're doing that full time?
I'm doing it full time.
So you left the certified planning business? And,
yes. And part of the reason was the opportunity became available to me to buy the rights for all of Texas. And I am in the process of we will be opening some 200 chapters throughout the state of Texas over the next 5 years.
Wow.
So that was aggressive, and I've been in business, been in the financial services business since way back in the 70s. And my practice was such that everyone was over 65, then over 70.
Oh boy.
And they're getting older. Right. Of course, they still act like they're 40 or 50, but that's okay. We all do. But I love giving back, and I always wanted to find the right vehicle to give back. And this came up, and we saw what we could do here in Houston. We see what's going on throughout the country. And I said, I want to help develop this throughout Texas. This is a great state for business.
Dirk, we have a few people who watch this show religiously that are in the financial services business. And I heard you say in the first segment that the way business had been done in the past has eroded, and you don't do it that way anymore. What advice would you give to someone who's in insurance, or who's a certified financial planner, or who is a stockbroker, or someone who provides those services to clients? How do you build your business now?
Today, building the business is about relationships. And I think that we've had a lot of false expectations with organizations that we've joined in the past. A lot of times we expect that organization is going to do business with us today. I'm going in. Right. And look, I've been a small businessman for a lot of years, and there's been some lean times when, I wish somebody would do some business with me today. But it doesn't happen. It has to be about developing the relationship. And if you look at it as it truly is a lead generation program for your business, and understand that all good things take some time. You'll grow beyond your wildest dreams through the chamber.
And quite honestly, should take some time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, John and I talk about a lot of these things on the show where we're dealing with a lot of small businesses. And, of course, just out in the community, since we started doing the show together, we've run across lots of opportunities to talk and meet and visit with small business owners. And it's amazing how some people really believe that they're going to go and literally generate hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in business with a relationship that they invested 10 minutes into.
True, but there are some businesses that do business right away. I'll give you an example, and I think maybe you gentlemen have met him. Andre Reed of Reed Printing. He's one of the members of the chamber. He's one of our sponsors, and he does remanufactured cartridges.
Sure.
Okay. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
If all of a sudden you're out of black ink and it won't work
toner,
anyway,
that's the guy.
And you got his card right in front of you. You're going to make that phone call.
That's right.
But the thing is, he does go the extra mile. He gives first. He will come to your office before he ever does business with you, analyze what your cartridges are and printing stuff, record it so that you can just pick it up from your cell phone when you're in the car on the way to a call and go, "Hey, Andre, I'm out of black."
Yeah.
Right.
It's not what model is it or anything.
He knows.
He's got it. And guess what? He delivers it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow,
One cartridge, 5 cartridges, a box. Yeah.
Service is key.
Absolutely. So that business is conducive to doing business today.
Right.
Real estate, insurance, things like that or not.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And before we go to break, I just got to say, you and I both are in the financial business, or I used to be.
Well, yeah, I know. Whatever. I think you're in it forever.
And when you talk about lean times, boy, I mean, there have been some days where you need somebody to buy quickly.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And of course, the thing is that coming through 2008 in the financial services business, as you know, Dirk, was painful. And, a lot of, we talked about on the show, John, how a lot of public trusts got broken during that period of time. Relationships with the banks, relationships between lenders and borrowers, and so on. Even some government agencies who are critical to the lending process, a lot of them lost some credibility during that period of time. So, it's a tough thing, but I tell you what, it's really, really great what you do and how you do it. And I think that's the big thing, how you do it at the Main Street Chamber. Folks, you're listening to Small Biz Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by the Lexington Law Firm. Listen, when you need credit help, get a free consultation today by calling 888-744-7081, the Lexington Law Firm. We'll be back to Cruz and Hughes right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free.
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
When Christopher Nolan,
There's a storm coming.
the legend ends in IMAX.
What are you? I'm Gotham's Reckoning.
The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest is Mr. Dirk Cummins. Dirk is the president of the Main Street Chamber of Commerce, the Houston chapter. If you want to find out if there is a Main Street Chamber in your neck of the woods, you can go to www.mainstreetchamber.org. You really have no excuse not to join. There's no monthly fee. There's no quarterly fee. There's no annual fee. And the chamber is for and about small business. They're designed and put together to help you grow your operation. So each and every one of you that are listening to this show should go on and find out if there is a Main Street Chamber in your area and make certain that you join. And again, the web address is mainstreetchamber.org. Now, Dirk, we discussed a lot of great things today about the chamber, but I know that as a for-profit business, we always talk about having a business plan. We talk about having a set of goals in place, and I'm certain that the chamber has a growth goal as well as it relates to you covering the state of Texas. Why don't you share a little bit of that with us?
Yes, they do have a growth goal, believe me. We're looking that in Houston over the next 18 months, we want to have 10 to 12 chapters up and running. And right now, as you know, we have the Katy chapter, and we have some interest down in the Sugar Land area. And we're through this citywide event coming up, we're hoping to spread that interest so we can maybe do it in the next year, get 10 to 12. In addition to that, we're looking at 200 plus throughout the great state of Texas.
Okay.
Wow.
Because you're talking 10, another 10, 15 in Dallas, another 10, 15 in Fort Worth.
Sure.
And when I say in Houston, that's what I really meant was in Houston. That's not talking about Galveston.
That's right.
And Conroe.
Houston proper.
That's right. So we have a lot. And then we know that there's going to be spin-offs from them.
Right.
There'll be a women's only, probably. There'll be a Hispanic. There'll be a black. We'll do whatever they want. I know that they talked about doing a Jewish one. So, I mean, people with like interests are going to dictate where this goes.
Certainly.
Now, my job is I've got to make sure that the business model is in place, and we've done that because our model now is being picked up by a lot of different chambers throughout the country. We spent a lot of time since buying the rights to Houston of putting a model together that we could literally take it into another place and literally guarantee them an initial startup success. One of the things the new chapter president is guaranteed that the day he has his grand opening event, he will have 100 new members.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. But the model we have works.
Yeah.
And we have developed it. Now it's just, okay, let's go plug it in. Now, I will tell you one thing, though. Main Street Chamber chapters are owned by their local presidents, so they can't be forced to do anything.
I see.
If they want the model, it's there. Now, the ones in Texas, we're having a little slow growth period right now because I'm pretty picky. If they don't have the give first attitude, I just don't want to open a chapter and have it fail.
Absolutely.
Sure. So, Dirk, what's the process? If somebody's listening to this show and they are here in Texas, for example, and they're seriously considering perhaps opening a chapter, they need to contact you, obviously.
Yes, they need to contact me. We're going to talk. I want them to attend a chapter meeting to see what it's about. Every 2 weeks, we have a meeting on Monday nights at 8 p.m., telephone meeting of all the chapter presidents in the country. We invite prospective presidents to join us on that call so they know that we're out there. We're sharing our successes.
Right.
And we're sharing it when we skin our knee, too.
Sure.
Because we've all done that.
Right.
We want them to go through that process. Some are going to come from other chapters where they become an ambassador with us and go, it really does work.
Yeah.
Can I take this idea and move it here? And we'll help them do it.
Now, is there training provided? And I'm calling it training because I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
If I'm a new chapter president, I would think that, boy, I would certainly want somebody to support me and show me the ropes and how to drive and that sort of thing. Even though, I might be motivated by, my particular interests or what have you. But the inner workings of making the model work, is there training and support for that?
I can only speak for the state of Texas.
Right.
And that answer is yes.
Okay.
I will be with a chapter president through his initial opening. In addition to that, my two vice presidents, if you will, of executive vice presidents of Texas, Russ Johns and Regina Gibbons, we'll pick them up and move them over there to make sure that the systems are working and in place, to make sure that they can build a staff of ambassadors. We can take them to the water.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Absolutely. Yep. And I think that is so important, bringing on the right people that can help you sort of ramp up, as so to speak, because when you start something new, naturally, you have so many different things that you're working on. But if you got somebody that's really supporting you, showing you how to do it and who to go to make ambassadors and make supporters of what you do, that does make it somewhat easier. Now, the chamber, does it have regular meetings every single week?
No, not yet.
Okay.
There will be weekly meetings and probably a couple of weekly meetings throughout the Houston area as the chapters ramp up.
Okay.
Right now we have the last Thursday of each month for the Houston and the second Thursday of each month for the Katy chapter.
Okay.
But there are going to be other ones. And of course, we have the Lunch and Learn that we host. That's done by Stephen K. Media.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on the second Wednesday of each month. And what a fabulous turnout we had for our initial lunch.
It was a packed house.
Standing room only.
That's right.
I mean, I had to give up my lunch and my seat.
Well, that lets you know business is growing.
That's exactly right. When the president's got to give it up.
Well, I tell you what, before we go into break, I do want to cover one more time. If someone is interested in joining the chamber, or if someone is thinking of maybe starting one in their area, because there's so many sub areas, especially as it relates to Houston, Texas. But in your area, it could be the same way. Dirk, you said they could give you a phone call. Why don't you give your number again?
It's 713-609-9805.
You have no reason not to call, especially if you are a small business that's in the business of meeting new clients, new customers. The Main Street Chamber is a great way to do so. They have weekly events that happen, or rather they have a monthly event that happens in your area somewhere. Go to mainstreetchamber.org. You can find more information out about the Main Street Chamber.
All right, folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by RingCentral.com. To get RingCentral's virtual PBX for your business, you can give them a call at 888-716-5022. Stay with us. We're in the home stretch. We'll be back right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan,
There's a storm coming.
the legend ends in IMAX.
What are you? I'm Gotham's reckoning.
The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest again is Mr. Dirk Cummins. Dirk is the president of the Main Street Chamber, the Houston chapter. If you would like to go to the Chamber's website and find out more about what the Main Street Chamber can do for you and your small business and what you can do for the Chamber, you can go to mainstreetchamber.org. Now, Dirk, this is our short segment, but before we go, I definitely want to sort of get some insight from you. You've been a small business person for a long time. What would you say are a couple of the biggest issues that are facing small business owners as it relates to the people who join the chamber and they talk to you about some of their issues or struggles? What would you say those issues are?
The couple of the biggest issues that they're concerned with today is, will they be able to sustain their business regardless of the politics that's going on?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of noise out there right now. And
Sure.
we've been in the financial services industry,
Right.
and we know that the government has kept us in business for a lot of
That's
years
right.
because
Right.
they make a lot of changes. We know what's going to happen there, but a lot of the small businesses don't.
That's
Right.
true.
And they're holding off hiring right now unless their cash flow dictates it.
Mm.
So that works really well for us. But that's what we're hearing is that we need to develop relationships and bring customers in the door that are going to last. So when we do have the next turn down, and we will, we
Right.
always have, that's a business cycle.
Right.
They want to have their customer base built with loyalty programs that bring the customer to them so they don't go down the street to the no-name that someone they don't know because they're 10 cents cheaper on their dry cleaning.
It's sold for a nickel.
Yeah.
And it happens.
It does happen.
Especially in financial services. I mean, we know. I mean, I've had clients leave me for 1/8 of a point lower in interest rate, after I've invested 20 or 30 days into working with that customer.
Right.
And so, but it does come back to relationships, Dirk, as you mentioned earlier. If you can build a sustained or a strong enough relationship, then you should be able to weather that storm.
That's right.
So sustainability is one of those issues.
Always a big issue with small business, as we know. In our demographics, at our meetings, the businesses that are there generally have been in business for longer than 4 years.
Awesome.
Guys, the Main Street Chamber is the place to go. If you are not a member, you should definitely do so. You can go to mainstreetchamber.org. Get your membership. We look forward to seeing you at the next event if you are in the Houston area. Dirk, we thank you so much for coming to do the show with us today.
Thank you, gentlemen. I
Thank
appreciate
you, Dirk.
it.
Good stuff.
You've been watching and tuning into on Blog Talk, if Blog Talk is up at the moment, to the Small Business Today show with Cruz and Hughes. I'm John Cruz.
I'm Irv Hughes.
And this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. So until tomorrow, be smart, be successful, and above all else,
be in action.
Irv and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.